Senator Grassley, thank you to all of you. I was thinking as I heard Mr. Arias about your mother at home, that there's a few senators that have a trouble getting online as well. So hopefully she's on by now. I'm going to focus, with all respect to everyone else, on my home state nominee here, Judge Menendez. And since 2016, Judge, you've served as magistrate for the District of Minnesota, a position you're selected for by our federal district court judges who have different judicial philosophies, I would say. And as far as I know, every one of them has deep respect for you. How has your experience as a magistrate judge informed your view on the role of a federal district court judge?
Thank you for that question, Senator. I have had the privilege of appearing in front of this same district court over and over again. And as a magistrate judge, I try to act with appropriate judicial temperament and decorum, always applying binding authority to the facts of the case before me, following Supreme Court precedent and Eighth Circuit precedent, also trying to make sure that every litigant that comes before me and every lawyer that comes before me will feel heard, and that I will be prepared to issue an appropriate ruling in the case. I think those same skills are called for if I am fortunate enough to be confirmed to the district court bench.
Very good. And your decisions, I think one of the reasons that you're popular there is that your decisions are reviewed by Minnesota's federal district court judges. I think you've heard over 425 different cases, and that includes judges nominated by Presidents Ford, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Obama, and Trump. And your decisions have been adopted in full approximately 97% of the time. How do you typically approach a new case, and why do you think these decisions have been adopted by the federal district court?
Thank you, Senator. Every time a new case arises before me, I try to be extremely prepared to hear arguments if there are oral arguments, and then I apply binding precedent. It actually is very often the case that the answers are easy because the authority directly on point applies very cleanly to the facts before me. I also strive to write very thorough but clear opinions that are well organized and can be understood not just by the parties before me and not just by lawyers, but by regular people who might read those opinions to see about the way I'm applying the law. And I think that has led to my reports and recommendations and orders being consistently affirmed by the district court and sometimes by the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Okay, thank you. Before joining the bench, you served for nearly 20 years helping to represent those who could not afford an attorney. During that time, you worked on hundreds of cases, including one which brought you to the Supreme Court twice for oral arguments. With an 8-1 decision written by Justice Scalia, the court ruled in your client's favor. How were you able to convince Justice Scalia and the majority of the other justices to rule in favor of your client?
Thank you, Senator. Until today, that was actually the scariest thing I'd ever done. And I just endeavored to be very prepared and to do my best on behalf of the individual client that I was representing to advocate effectively to the Supreme Court. Justice Scalia and the other justices of the court, I think, found our position to be the appropriate one in light of the law and issued the decision. But I simply did my very best to be as prepared as possible. All
right. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Judge Menendez. We do our best to make this the scariest moment in everyone's life who appears before us. Senator Hawley, following in that tradition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll take that as a compliment. Judge Ota, if I could start with you. Let me ask you about some of the comments made by the Lawyers Club of San Diego, and I just